Okay, 6:10. Real quickly, again, I updated the board a little bit when we did our next quiz is on Monday. So yesterday's lesson, the reciprocals, I told you what you'll see from that. Today's lesson, dividing into fractions, and then tomorrow's lesson. So 3 more lessons, quiz. So 6:09, 6:10, 6:11 will be our quiz on Monday. All right, 6:10, divide whole numbers by fractions. And kind of like how we did the multiplication, they really introduced this kind of slowly. So it is. Page 216, wow, that was super fuzzy, you can't see anything. Page 216, there it is, 217. I'm just going to start over here at 217. I'll go through all this, how we do it here. Okay, look at number 5. It says 3 divided by 1/2. And everything, the rest of the chapter, again, we kind of looked at this. It's all division stuff for the most part here. Division stuff. So how do we do it, and how do we divide? So I told you the 4 magic words, but to officially put them on a piece of paper, I will say this over and over and over to you throughout the rest of this chapter. These 4 words. Well, it's the whole thing here. I'd probably write it. What else do you have to write at the moment? So I will go through step by step. Just like, again, I'll write out kind of our process here. And then I don't intend to write it out again the rest of the chapter. But first time we do anything, the adding, the subtracting, the multiplying, I kind of went through it in a little more depth. So that's what's coming here. So to do this here, again, these are your 3 magic words. But when we're doing any division, right, 4 words. I don't know how to say 3, but 4 words. Whenever we're dividing with fractions, there is no actual dividing that will occur. They're instead all going to be rewritten as multiplication problems, and then we'll solve them in the same capacity that we solved them the first 6 lessons that we did this. So how do I do that here? For the here, again, if I write it out with fractions here, we still are probably going to want to get in the business of getting our whole numbers over 1. But then there's their words right there. They use their multiply by the reciprocal of the, just multiply by the reciprocal. So it's always in order. You got to make sure that you're taking the reciprocal of the right number. All right, the first number does not change. All right. Does not change, ever, ever. And we are going to turn this into a multiplying problem, and we are going to have a reciprocal, but the first number is what it is. If it's 1/4, then it's 1/4. If it's 3, it's 3. So the second number, just like we're reading a book, multiply by what? The reciprocal, in that order there. So this is the one that we need the reciprocal of. So if I rewrite my problem here, because that's what I'm going to do. I told you you're going to rewrite it as we're going to turn division into multiply, right? And the first number, whatever it is, the whole rest of this chapter, these rules aren't going to change on you here. This isn't a moving target here. If you get it today, then you're in good shape for the rest of the chapter. But first number is 3. And now I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 1/2? And right, I'm going to just put it over 1 just because I'm going to write it in fraction form. Stella?
Can you move the page down so I can see what it's...
Right. So, and once we have made that move, this is where it all occurs, right here, in this part. Our division, we're going to always turn them into multiply, and then that second number right here, that's the one you take the reciprocal of. Never the first number. Never. all we want to do is get it in fraction form. Either put it over 1 if it's a whole number, proper fractions are good to go. And mixed numbers, of course, we'll still have to turn them into improper fractions like we have been. And that's it. And then I would cross simplify as necessary. Nothing to cross simplify. Multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, simplify as necessary. The final answer is 6. And I got there by converting my division problem to a multiplication problem.
And you're gonna do that pretty much the whole time.
Pretty much the next 6 lessons, yeah. And it's always going to be multiply by the reciprocal. They'll change, multiply by 10 thirds, right? Multiply by 5 over 2. Multiply by 3 over 2. Multiply by 1/3. Multiply by 1/9. Multiply by 1/40. Multiply by 14/9. Multiply by 12/5.
It's all
Right?
gonna be pretty
None of these first numbers will change. As we move farther into the lesson, we'll have to mess around with mixed numbers and whatnot, make that conversion, and we'll get there. But the process will never change. Multiply by the reciprocal. What else can I tell you? I think you guys are ready. So I'll give you some here to try. I'll work through maybe 2 more, but try 6 and 7, and then I'll give you guys yours, and that should be it. So try this on your own. I'll walk through it. But set up the problem.
Okay.
There they are. 6 and 7.
And it's just watching the first one.
Yep. So again, you didn't write any of this down, Michaela. This is your blueprint. This is your template of how to do this. And you have multiplied fractions. With some success, too, I might add. You haven't been bad at it.
Wait, so you're gonna get a number bigger than like what you started with, right?
In this case, we will. If we divide by a value that's smaller than 1, your answer is going to be bigger than your number. If I divide by a number bigger than 1, then my answer is going to go down. This strategy, for what it's worth, even could work with whole numbers. Like if I say, and you already know this answer, 6 divided by 3 is 2. But I could use the same strategy, because 6 is 6 over 1. What's the reciprocal of 3? 1/3. Cross simplify. What do I get? 6 over 1 times 1/3 is 2, which is the same thing as 6 divided by 3. So, you could do this with your own whole numbers. Pick any division problem, 30 divided by 6 is 5. 30 multiplied by the reciprocal of 6 over 1 is 1/6. Cross simplify. Kind of nifty, isn't it? When you think about it.
Can't you cross simplify on number 7?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see how you did with these here. So this one here, again, at some point here, I would definitely just get everything over 1. Just keep a nice, good pattern and template to you. But 4 over 1 divided by 1/3, 4 over 1, division is going to become multiply, and I multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3 over 1. So the first value never changes, it's the second value. And now, nothing to cross simplify. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 over 1, final answer is 12. 4 divided by 1/3 is 12. It's actually the same thing as 4 times 3. Right. Phew. This one here, again, 18 over 1, multiplied by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 6 over 17 is 17 over 6. And then, yes, just like, again, everything is the same as how we multiplied. We're looking to cross simplify when possible. As the chapter moves on, we'll have to convert to improper, mixed numbers and all that. That'll come back. But the 6 becomes a 1. Greatest common factor between 6 and 18. Are you writing any of this? Okay. There's 3, and then I'm left with on top, 17 times 3 is 51. 1 times 1 on the bottom. Final answer, 51. What do you think? If you're feeling good about it, then get ready for one week next week.
If it's not on the whole, like, if you can write it down, you can just look at the problem on the board and just flip them before you write the.
Yeah, again, I'm kind of going, when you're going into your homework here, I mean, do I expect you to write all this out? Not necessarily, but you'll just want to, however you do it, and I've seen people do it different ways, as long as you're consistently doing it good. I mean, some people write very tiny and up there, and others rewrite the whole thing, and it is a wide range of ways people will set these up. But like many things you guys do, if you're getting the right answers, I love how you did it. It's as simple as that. So you all have, again, people have their own ways of how they're going to write them in the homework, on the quiz, on your notes, and that's fine. But this is still, ultimately, it all just comes down to executing that multiply by the reciprocal step. And then solve. Cool. Question? Let's do our problems, and then yes. Can you wait a couple minutes? Okay. Here we go. Problems for you guys. Try number 8. Everybody gets one. Once we get our 8 problems done, we're done. 8 kids, 8 problems.
That's weird.
2 groups of 4. There you go. Uriah, 8, 12, 16, 20. Right down the row there.
And we don't convert them into mixed numbers?
Never.
If your answer ends as an improper fraction, yeah, you need to convert it to a mixed number. If your final answer would always be represented in mixed number form. But to do the actual multiplying or dividing, you always need it in improper fraction form, so. Right. And again, this is our first day. We'll have many days of practicing this concept, so. But I feel like you guys are in a pretty good, solid ground here. Yeah, I feel good. Our Chapter 6 test is not next week. It'll be somewhere the week after that, by the way, so no
Are we
test
not
next week.
turning these into mixed numbers?
Your final answer should be turned into a mixed number if you would have.
If it was an improper.
Right, right, right. You always still do that. Just like when we were multiplying, you never leave your final answer in improper fraction form. You have to get it back into mixed number form. Simplified mixed number form. Yes. Yep, no, and these are good questions, right? Good questions. It's our first time doing this, so.
Yeah, hope it's only boys. What? The boy. The boy. The boy.
All right, we all ready? All right, number 8 will be for George. Number 12, Michaela. 16, Noah. 20, Stella. Guys, shh.
Okay, the lines are good.
Okay. All right, George, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, rewrite it.
So it would be 6 over 1
Yep,
and times 5/3
right.
equals 10 over 1 equals 10.
Cross simplify.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's 3 and 6. 1, 2.
There you go. And 10 over 1 simplifies to 10. There's our final answer, 10. Good. Michaela? So how would I write this as a multiplying problem? What do I do when I have a whole number?
Oh, 9, 1.
Right, 9 over 1. And then I'm going to write it as, so if I flip these two numbers around,
7 thirds.
7 thirds. That's right.
Oh.
And then my 3 and 9.
3 and 9 is 27.
So 3 divided by 3 is,
1.
right? So I can turn that into a 1, and I can divide that by 3. What's 9 divided by 3?
9 divided by 3. I just multiplied by accident.
Or 3 times what equals 9? 3 times
9.
3, what are the multiples of 3?
3 times 3 equals 9.
Right, so 9 divided by 3 is
1.
3.
3, I mean. 3.
Right. So now, all I'm left with on top, what's 3 times 7?
3 times 7, 21.
And then on the bottom, what's 1 times 1?
1
21 over 1.
equals 21.
There's my answer. You got it. That's it. So all
I
right.
just got a little confused.
That's okay.
Everybody
That's okay. You're doing your best.
Can I go
That's
to the
all that matters.
bathroom now?
Can you go real fast?
Yes.
Because I don't want you to keep missing. I want you to keep practicing. Go fast. Pump those 5th grade legs. Pump them. Pump them. Pump. Pump. All right, Noah, you ready? Noah? Okay, rewrite.
So the like you put on one under the 5, and then the 9 is over the 4,
Right.
and then 9 times is 45.
Right. Can't cross simplify anything.
So then the 4 is under the 45, and then it goes in 4, and then the 4 goes into 45 11 times, and then you have a remainder of 1, and then you have a 4.
Yes, sir. Well done. Well explained. Well done. Good. Yep, that was good. That one was definitely harder than any of the ones we've done to date, just because all the other ones have had whole number answers, which is awesome. So, yep, first one, so definitely more challenging. 16 was than any of the others. So, if you got 16, awesome. I mean, great. Stella, you ready? Okay.
So put a 1 under the 13, and then put times 310.
Right, multiply by the reciprocal.
And then, so then 13 times 3 is 39 over 10,
Yep.
which equals 3 and 9 tenths.
Right. There it is, right there. The books. Look at what the book had for an answer. Oh.
No.
Yeah, do it right.
That's what I had, because I got the 3 and the 10 mixed up in that first. Yeah, that's what I did. Wait, the book got it.
Or wait, I actually wrote it wrong. It should have been this problem. I see the problem here. That's how the book, I wrote
Yeah,
the
that's
problem.
what I had.
Right. Well then, okay. So I wrote it wrong. This is how the book wrote it. So if you did it this way,
Can I do it again?
sure.
And then put a 1 under the 13. And then 13 times 10 is 130. And then over 3, which equals 43 and 1/3.
Right. So that's how the book had it. That's how I wrote it. So if you did it how I did it, you should get that answer. If you were looking in the book, you would have got that answer. Right? You paying attention?
Yes.
Why don't you turn around? You're right. Turn around. Whatever we're doing. Turn. Put your feet. Face them this way. Turn around. Your feet on the ground.
Somebody within the staring contest.
Both of them. Other foot too. Come on. There you go. Stay that way. Okay. Last 4. Here we go. Try number 11. 24 divided by 12/13. Number 15. 7 divided by 2/7. Number 19, 20 divided by 8/9. And
How was the kid laughing?
try number 23. Word problem.
Oh, that's gonna be for you, Uriah. Chance for Uriah to get the word problem is a 25% chance.
11, 15, 19, and 23.
Yep. If you can do these three, these are good ones for you to try right here.
Don't forget to write 23, Mr. Melcher.
It's a word problem.
Oh.
How many pieces of 5/9 meter board can be cut from a 15-meter board?
Oh. Okay. This is kind of easy. Oh, I'm glad that one is I feel like I don't have to explain it.
Seriously, you're gonna get that word problem.
Oh, it's easy.
All right. You know about ready?
Yeah.
All right. Number 11, Uriah. 15, Lauren. 19, Roland. 23, Ella.
I don't know what 23 is. It's a word
Well, you should get a book from somebody.
I know.
All right. Uriah, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Set up the problem for me.
Place a 1 under the 24.
Okay.
Then flip roodle doodle.
Yep. Very good.
12 and 13. 12 and 13.
Yep.
Then use cross simplifying on the
Yep.
24 and 12. Divide both of those by 12. That is 1. That is 1/13 and 2 and 2 ones. Then
24 divided. Right. Okay.
Then 13 times 2 is 26.
There it is. 26 over 1, which turns into 26. Good. Yeah, cross simplifying that, definitely. Who wants to do 24 times 13 divided by 12? Nobody. Right? Nobody. Nobody. Cross simplify. You love cross simplifying, right? We all love cross simplifying. All right, Lauren, you ready?
Yep.
Set me up.
So it is 7. So 7 over 1, and 7 over 2,
Right.
and then that equals 49 under 2. 49 over 2, and then turn into the mixed number is 24, and then
Right.
Good job, Lauren.
great
That's
job,
it.
Lauren.
You got it.
Lauren.
Roland, set it up.
Okay. Okay. So 20 goes into 20 over 1.
Yep.
Then 9/8.
Right. Multiply times 9/8.
And then you can cross simplify the 20 and the 8. 4 goes into 8 twice. And 4 to 20 5 times. 5 times 9, 45. 1 times 2 is 2. Goes in 24, 24 times, no,
Yep.
22 times
Oh, right.
and a half.
Right.
I did it so long ago. I went to
180 divided by 8.
divided by 8, yeah.
Yeah. Not as fun that
That
way.
was actually really fun.
Well, teach their own, I suppose.
Nobody.
Yeah, good. All right. So 23, there it is. How many pieces of 5/9 meter board could be cut from a 15 meter board? So before we rewrite, what's the problem, or how do I write out what I'm solving here?
Okay, so I wrote it right away as a multiplication problem. So
What's the division problem?
oh, that would be 15 over 1 divided by 5 over 9.
Right, because again, especially when you get to like the test and stuff and things are shuffled around, you may have to think it through a little more, but a 15 meter board is basically being divided into 5/9 meter sections here. My question is, how many of these 5/9 meter sections? If I was cutting it into 1 meter pieces, a 15 meter board, I would have 15 pieces. Take my board, divide it by, what I'm going to cut it, well, right, 1 meter thing, 15 divided by 1, I would have 15 boards. So I'm basically this time cutting into that, so write it as the multiplying problem. Ella? Multiply?
Oh, multiply.
Or
Then
what's,
it would be 15 over 1 times 9 over 5.
yeah,
Which 5 goes into 15, 5 turns into a 1, 15 turns into 3, 3 times 9 is 27, and 5.
how many pieces of 5/9 board could I cut from the 15 meter board? 27 pieces I could cut from it.
How jolly is
27
that?
pieces.
Yippee!
Good. Any questions?